When you think of coffee, you might think of Seattle, where Starbucks started, or Portland, Oregon, known for its world-renowned coffee scene. You might even think of the Bay Area, which has probably hundreds if not thousands of small coffee shops. But it's Stockton, California, our own inland port city, that does not get enough credit for its coffee scene. And I'm not talking about the grab and go while you're on your errands type of coffee shops, but the kinds of places that are so cozy and so inviting you just have to stay for an hour. So today I'm showing you some of Stockton's most unique sit-down coffee shops, and while you might think that I only have 2 or 3 up my sleeve, I'm actually showing you 6. 6 completely different, unique coffee shops, and I'm really curious to see which one you would like to spend the morning or afternoon in. Let's go. First up, we have Poppy Coffee on Miracle Mile. Bright, energetic, and fun with 2 levels. This is a college student favorite, so that is exactly what I dressed like. But just because we're going to a coffee shop doesn't mean I have to order coffee. My sights were set on Poppy Coffee's Bowl of Soul, a heartfelt blend of chamomile, honey, cinnamon, and milk. And with that, I had the Santa Cruz lunch sandwich. Although they were out of bread, the barista suggested I use a bagel, and her suggestion was spot on. The Santa Cruz sandwich with its avocado and spinach and cheese was super delicious with that jalapeno cheddar. And since I was so relaxed and cozy, I broke out my newspaper from 2000 just to see what people were up to back then and check out the old cartoons. So that's it for number 1 of 6 on our list, and I'd love to know if you'd spend any time there. Hang tight because we still have 5 more completely unique cafes to go. No, this is not a cafe, it's a house. But these next 2 cafes are built right into Stockton's historic neighborhoods. So first up, we have The Well. It's this sprawling, kind of Mediterranean-inspired community space that serves up way more than coffee and hot food. The Well is designed to bring the community together, so it has meeting spaces, event venues, a music studio, dance studio, art studio, screen printing shop, and even coffee roasting classes you can take so you can start your own coffee business. I had a strong herbal tea, an Asiago bagel, and read a travel magazine. I like The Well because it's, 1, huge. You can choose from a variety of different seating options. There's outdoor, indoor, whatever you need to do, whether it's do some work on your laptop or even have a Bible study, which was happening off to the side, and that was really cool. Some gentlemen there were meeting. Whatever you need to do, The Well has a space for it. This next one is my absolute favorite. Located in Stockton's historic business district, we have Bennet's, formerly known as Terra. Earthy and eclectic, closed in and full of plants and local art for sale. It kind of reminds me of a grandma's house, but if your grandma lived in Santa Cruz, had a bunch of tattoos, a houseplant addiction, and you suspect she's probably waked and baked since 1979. But she makes the best cookies and gives the best hugs. So I threw on my coziest sweater and stopped in for a latte and a chocolate chip cookie to work the morning away. Stockton, California, the beating heart of the Central Valley, and it's been that way since the 1850s. The downtown area is home to all kinds of ideological meeting grounds, just like this Masonic temple, which is right next to our next cafe, Arté del Café, Mexican coffee house. Vibrant, colorful, beautiful, with local handcrafted art just waiting to decorate your home. You can sit upstairs, browse their many bookshelves, try a churro latte, and maybe get a tamale. Wear something colorful and stay a while. This next cafe has a smaller, darker, more sophisticated feel, attracting a mix of nearby lawyers, bankers, and office support staff, all impeccably dressed, understandably stressed, and unknowingly blessed. I tried to blend in by channeling my own off-duty lawyer look. The hyperlocal patrons of the downtown Empresso Coffeehouse location are always willing to discuss their work problems in open air for those of us who love eavesdropping. But I did tune them out long enough to catch up on my classical history, Herodotus, who claims to have written down the history of the ancient world so people don't forget it. But it's basically a 719-page gossip column of he said, she said. Did it all really happen, or was Herodotus just super creative? Either way, 3,000 years later, I'm still here for the drama. My small cortado only bought me an hour's worth of seat time, my rule, not theirs. So I hopped on over to our next location, Trail Coffee Roasters, a few blocks away. Forget the high-powered suit crowd. This cafe attracts a different variety of people. Softer and more cuddly. And for good reason. The open concept and bright, airy feel, with its well-cared-for plants, is simply good for the spirit. They even have a ginormous room on the side where they bag their own beans. It all smells so heavenly. I had a chai and continued Herodotus, learning about a tyrant named Pisistratos, who allegedly took over Athens not once but 3 times. At one point, he even hires a 6-foot-tall woman to dress up and pretend she is the goddess Athena herself to endorse his rule. Did it happen? Maybe. Exactly like that? Maybe not, but we'll never know. So that is it for Stockton's coffee scene, at least for today. And remember, these are just 6 of many coffee shops in Stockton, California, but these are some of my favorites. So thank you for hanging out with me. And I'm really sensitive to environments. So the music and the decor and plants and lighting and service, all of that really goes into making a wonderful space that is hosted for public use and consumption. And I just really like how these 6 places are thoughtfully designed to cater to different vibes. I'm really curious to know which one you like the best or which one you frequently go to. Of course, I like Bennet's the best. And one day in the future, I'd really love to host my own space. I've had this idea since college of this kind of tea house. Of course, they would sell coffee, but the main focus is tea. There's food there. It's 2 stories. There's a tile kind of waterfall feature. I've had this idea since college. I even have it framed. It's basically this. So kind of this Roman column staircase leading up to this open 2nd floor. Here's the tile waterfall. On the side we'd have some bench seating areas. I didn't draw those. With books, kind of like language books, different foreign language books all around the world. Art everywhere, huge world map, skylights up here, tons of plants, handcrafted, artisan, local chairs and tables. All different, eclectic styles. A little pond, again with seating, and this up here would be good for kind of an art gallery space with art for sale, rotating, and a little gift shop off to the side. I'd really love to have this in a capital, a big city capital building like Washington, D.C. would be cool, or even maybe like Chicago. It doesn't necessarily have to be a capital, or Sacramento, just someplace, because I want politicians there. I want politicians to host meetings there after hours. I want them to come here and host their meetings, campaign meetings, whatever it is. Nonprofits, weddings would be cool too. Maybe 2 per year, because that's a lot of no bridezillas. That would be a lot of work. But things like that, just hosting a space, designing a space, a lot goes into it. I know that people who do this are really passionate about it, because I'm passionate about bringing this to life one day. We'll see. This, I think, would take about 200% of all of my energy and power nonstop to make this happen. When you think of like investor funding and all of that kind of thing, just because it's such a huge space and it needs to be so, there's a lot of like work that goes into creating this, with like even the plumbing for the waterfall and trying to find a space that can be turned into this, that kind of thing. So it's just, the closest thing that I found online was Hard Rock Cafe in Chicago, because they kind of have that open, like 2-story levels with like a curled staircase, but they have 2 staircases, which is fine. I guess it's less work to do it that way, and that would be fine. But it's like, come on, how am I gonna get Hard Rock Cafe Chicago to make a tea house? So stuff like that. But that's why I appreciate thoughtfully designed spaces, because I can say like, wow, you really made that happen. And to just start with your idea and then get other people on board, get the funding, get the contractors, get the electricians, the wiring going, all that stuff, the business plan, the accounting, the hiring of personnel, the ongoing good service, and listening to customer feedback. It's a lot of work. So that again is why I appreciate these 6 spaces. So again, thanks for hanging out with me, and my next video will actually be focused on Lodi wineries that make you feel like you're in Italy. So stay tuned for that. If you like wine, Or even if you don't like wine, because I will not be drinking at all of these wineries. They do have little bites to eat and olive oil tasting and all that stuff. So stay tuned for that if you're interested. And again, thanks for hanging out with me, and I'll see you soon.